In December 1872, a ship was found drifting in the Atlantic Ocean. Its cargo was still on board. Supplies were still there. There were no clear signs of violence, but every person on the ship had vanished. The ship was called the Mary Celeste, and more than 150 years later, it remains one of the most famous maritime mysteries ever recorded. The story began on the 7th of November, 1872. The Mary Celeste left New York Harbor, bound for Genoa, Italy. On board were Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, their young daughter Sophia, and 7 crew members. The ship was carrying more than 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol. It should have been a difficult but ordinary voyage across the Atlantic. But the Mary Celeste would never arrive with her crew. For weeks, the ship sailed east across the ocean. The weather was rough at times, but nothing in the surviving records suggested disaster was certain. Then, on the 25th of November, the ship's log recorded its last known position near the Azores. After that, silence. Around 10 days later, another ship, the Dei Gratia, was sailing through the Atlantic when its crew spotted something unusual in the distance. A ship was moving strangely. Its sails were set, but it seemed to be drifting without proper control. When the Dei Gratia came closer, the crew recognized it as the Mary Celeste. At first, they may have expected a distress signal, but there was none. No one appeared on deck. No one answered their calls. Eventually, a boarding party climbed aboard. What they found turned the Mary Celeste into a legend. The ship was empty. Captain Briggs was gone. His wife and daughter were gone. Every crew member was gone. The lifeboat was missing, but the Mary Celeste itself had not sunk. It had not burned. It had not been destroyed. There was no confirmed evidence of piracy. No obvious scene of violence. The cargo was still mostly intact, and the ship was still seaworthy enough to be sailed to port. That is what made the mystery so unsettling. Why would 10 people leave a ship that was still floating? Over the years, the story of the Mary Celeste became surrounded by myths. Some versions claimed meals were still warm on the table. Others claimed pipes were still smoking, or that everything on board was perfectly untouched. But many of those details were later exaggerations. The real mystery does not need them, because the confirmed facts are strange enough. The people were gone. The lifeboat was gone, and nobody ever saw them again. So what happened? One theory is that Captain Briggs believed the ship was in serious danger. The Mary Celeste had been carrying barrels of alcohol, and some believe fumes may have built up below deck. If the crew feared an explosion, even without seeing flames, they may have abandoned ship in panic. Another theory is that the captain thought the vessel was taking on too much water. If the pumps or instruments gave a misleading reading, Briggs may have believed the ship was close to sinking. In that moment, the lifeboat might have seemed like the safest option. There was also the weather. The Atlantic can change quickly, and if rough seas damaged the ship or caused panic, the crew may have made a desperate decision. But that decision would have been fatal. A lifeboat in open ocean separated from the main ship would have had little chance. If the rope connecting it to the Mary Celeste broke, or if the weather worsened, the people inside could have disappeared into the Atlantic without leaving a trace. This may be the most realistic explanation. Not pirates, not ghosts, not sea monsters, but fear, a moment of uncertainty, a captain trying to protect his family and crew, and one decision that could not be undone. The Mary Celeste was later brought to port, but the people who left her were never found. No final message, no confirmed wreckage, no survival. Just an empty ship drifting through the Atlantic, carrying the last unanswered question of everyone who had been aboard. The mystery of the Mary Celeste is not simply that a ship was found without its crew, it is that the ship survived, and the people did not. So maybe the real question is not what happened to the Mary Celeste. Maybe the real question is this: what made 10 people believe the lifeboat was safer than staying on board?